Hello viewers, as a quick one this morning, let's discuss your rights in that marriage. Yes, from experience in women empowerment and legal aid, from our experience, from people coming to lodge complaints in our office, we have discovered that it is incessant, very common to hear cases of a man getting married, and of course, after the initial marriage, he goes out again to take another wife. Yes, this morning I want to let you know that the right you have in a marriage depends on the type of marriage that you have. Yes, coming closer now, let me remind you, men and women there, there are three types of marriages you can contract, and of course we call these marriages under the law. The first one is marriage under the Act, which is the English marriage. The one you go to the registry to contract, or of course the church. Then there is the customary marriage, the one we call engagement and introduction. And of course there is the Islamic marriage. Now the one that is of concern this morning is the man or the woman that is in the marriage under the Act. Yes, very many times we have discovered that a man will contract a marriage under the Act, and thereafter he goes out to take another wife. Now, the law, under the law, is that if you contract a marriage under the Act, that is the English marriage, it is supposed to be a monogamous marriage. And in monogamy, you cannot have another wife. Why? The first marriage is subsisting. So if peradventure you have contracted a marriage under the Act, and you go out to contract another one, if you go out to contract any other marriage you go out to contract after the first marriage under the Act, while it is subsisting, the other marriage you go out to contract becomes illegal ab initio. Any type of marriage that you contract after you have contracted the marriage under the Act and which is still subsisting, that you have not dissolved, any other marriage under it is null and void. And so nobody can take or can claim any right under that marriage. So if you're a woman there and your husband goes out to contract another marriage after your marriage under the Act, or while your marriage under the Act is still subsisting, please let him know that that marriage is null and void ab initio. Now again, while your marriage is subsisting, if you go out, your marriage under the Act is subsisting. If you go out to contract another marriage under the Act, that apart from the fact that that marriage is null and void, what you have done as a man is called bigamy under the law, and it will earn you a 7 years imprisonment. Unfortunately, women do not get to report because of our society. But I think women are coming out of their shells these days, and they are beginning to take their rights or to claim their rights under the law. And therefore, I want to sound a note of warning to you men that if your marriage is subsisting, your marriage under the Act is subsisting, if you take or if you try to contract any other one after that marriage, any type of marriage you contract is null and void. Again, if you go further to contract another marriage under the Act while the first one is still subsisting, I want to let you know that you are committing an offense that is called bigamy, and it will earn you a 7 years imprisonment. Now remember that it is possible to say, okay, the first marriage I contracted was under the Act, I'm going to take another wife or another mistress, but it's not going to be marriage under the Act. I'm just going to pay the dowry, and I'm going to contract a traditional marriage. It is still illegal. Remember, any other type of marriage, as long as the first one is subsisting. So think very well. If you are going into a marriage, if it is marriage under the Act, remember it is monogamy. You must remain one man, one wife. Until next week, I want to remind you, please, your right under the marriage depends on the type of marriage you contract. And for men out there, remember, it is still an offense, it is still under our law today, as of today, that if you contract another marriage after your marriage, the first marriage while it is subsisting, you are committing bigamy. If it is not another marriage under the act, the marriage, whatever type of marriage you go out to contract, is null and void, and no right can be claimed under that marriage. Until next week, I want to wish you well in your places of work, and I say have a wonderful day. Bless you.